Welcome to today's video. Today we are looking at Mendicant Core. Pretty cool commander that eventually enables you to pay 1 to clone every artifact spell you cast. To get there, you have to get max speed for start your engine, so it's just basically hitting your opponent. Basically, it wants a white-blue deck to keep hitting your opponent. I guess it makes it quite aggressive, and then, oddly enough, it becomes quite a control-y commander because you can just overwhelm your opponent with like ridiculous level of spells, and doubling up spells is pretty crazy. So in a way, it's interesting because it's a 0 or 100 commander. What I mean by that is it always does something early on, and it does even crazy things late game. And this deck tries to really take advantage of spamming the field with lots of smaller artifacts and things that boost artifacts' power as well. One of the cards I really want to abuse is Skrelv's Hive, because although it's an enchantment, it does make artifacts each turn, and artifacts, the more artifacts you have out, increase the power of Mendicant Core, and you can also increase everyone's power as long as they're an artifact with cards like Urza, Prince of Crew, gives all artifact creatures +2/+2. This is a really powerful card to have in the deck, especially when you have something like Shadow Spear as well to give a really nice lifelink and trample boost to Mendicant Core. We're also using Support Skyforge, which is an alchemy card, which I normally hate alchemy, but the artwork and ability for this is awesome. So 5-mana 4/4 vehicle. When it enters, it creates 4 servos. That's a lot of servos. And then whenever it attacks, draft a card from the spell book, and that card potentially becomes an artifact creature. So you're basically getting artifact creatures out of this, but normally they would be vehicles, which is really powerful, but it breaks the game so much it makes me wish it was kind of like a legendary. To put it on just a random rare is a little bit odd, to be perfectly honest. And yeah, the deck has even more interesting things like Salvation Engine, which gives you other artifact creatures +2/+2. This is just incredible. Quite similar vibe in some ways to, what was the other thing? To Urza, because Urza gives +2/+2. +2 is a humongous boost, by the way. Normal things only give +1, but +2 is just really crazy. And yeah, the rest of the deck is just trying to eke out small artifacts that you want to get repeatable value with by cloning them later on. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Very technical commander, I think, because you have to really decide where and when you play your bigger spells. Do you want to hold them back? Do you want to wait? But also you want to try and get some chip damage in early to make sure you can actually start your engines at all. Because I think a lot of games you play with Mendicant Core, you're never going to get max speed because you'll probably be dead by then, or your opponent's just going to stop you attacking each time. So it's definitely interesting. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to support me more than that, you can check out my description box where you can look at the Ko-fi donations or become a channel patron, which really helps as well. So let's get into the games. Let's see how we go against Kotus, a very popular Sultai commander that's really blown up everywhere, to be honest. It's just so powerful, being able to steal things from your opponent's deck with just a few boosts. It's very good. We do have Elspeth Conquers Death that can get rid of Kotus, though, so it's exactly why I've kept this hand. That's interesting. So with our Ominous Lockbox, if we name 4 mana, then we can also get a Kotus, which will be a really cool blocker. So we can just use our Kotus to block their Kotus, which is definitely... This lockbox provides some really interesting kind of gameplay, because it just allows you to do stuff that you don't normally see, which is really cool. One, 2, 3 mana up. Do they just want to kill the Mendicant Core? No idea. No idea. Opponent is off in their own lands. Arcane Signet. Artifact rocks in a deck that has green. Yes. So let's see if we can start our engines or not. Nice. Ominous Lockbox. They could legitimately have Counterspell, but no. So I think 5 mana is our sweet spot here. Annoyingly, this Unstable Glyph Bridge will kill everything but something with power 2 or less on each side of the field, which means both our Kotuses will be alive. Love it. Maybe they have removal. Maybe they have a minus effect here. Entirely possible. +2/+2 flying. Well, that is interesting. But luckily for us, we have a UFO that can abduct their Kotus. Oh my god. And apparently, one removal spell is enough. Kind of crazy to think how much damage they were going to deal with this. But yeah, stealing 4 cards off the top of our deck, that's kind of scary. But we got there. We got there first with a UFO, of course. Okay, this seems like a pretty cool hand. I think the Reflector Mage is going to be a nice little bit of frustration for the Helga there, especially if they put a counter or 2 on this. And then we bounce it to the hand, and then suddenly slows them down quite a bit. I feel as though Helga decks do rely on Helga a fair bit, because it is ramp, right? Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deal damage to a player, seek a non-land card with 2 or less. Okay. So we could start with a Skrell's Hive. Do you know what? I think I'm going to start with this. I want to see what synergies we can pull off. So it's an enchantment that makes artifacts, but the artifact synergized with innovative Metatect, Mendicant Core. Could be pretty cool. If we had a bigger artifact, it would have been better to play around Weaponsmith. But yes, I know that Skrell's Hive creatures are CMC 0. Oh, hang on a sec. Seek an unlocked mana value 2 or less. That's actually even better. I thought it said seek equal to CMC. No, okay, cool. So they also might find Skrell's Hive super threatening enough to kill it early on as well. Let's go for the Mendicant Core. Okay. So now we're hitting at different angles. We're hitting with tokens, with infect, or toxic, should I say, and also hitting with regular damage. Okay, I think we will start with Teferi just because it is more mana. And it stops them playing magic in our turn, which is just very good against a blue X deck like theirs. This feels pretty good. We have a lot of stuff out for them to deal with. And more removal to follow as well. But they could just board wipe. In which case we can rebuild. With the Weaponsmith and the Metatect. Helga comes down again. Portable Hole does not hit Helga, sadly. So we know they can't play spells here in our turn.
This might be a bad idea.
So let's bounce it back to the hand again. Tempo is super powerful in a format that ends by turn 5 or 6. So we know they can't cast spells in our turn. And I'm not sure, unless I've got an ability. It's an ability from one of the... Yeah, there we go. That is apparently enough to just end the game. That's such a shame. This is the curse of powerful decks, right? You make a powerful deck, but you really rarely get to see it. And that is, I guess, the downside of Arena. All right, let's go. We've got an exile effect, which is going to be nice against a card that cares muchly about the graveyardy. Oh. But he's already here. And alas, maybe we just do this now. Maybe we just do this now. We turn him into an ox. We have to turn him into an ox. It's the only way to prevent him from destroying us very early on. Whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 3 if you do create a tapped Shipoopy. Unstable Glyph Bridge. This is going to be nice, I think. If they're going to cheat in, you know, Ulamogs and Bogs, this should be able to deal with it. Let's go. Let's go for Mendicant Core, the most Halo-sounding commander of all time. Mendicant Core. Master Chief, Mendicant Core seeks your something. Mendicant Bias was one of the characters in Halo. And now we have Mendicant Core, who looks like a ball. But this robot is wearing what looks like shorts. Now, I don't like the fact that they've put that in the graveyard. That makes me concerned because my whole deck is artifacts. So there is that. I suspect they will be reanimating Angel of the Ruins in the following turn. Okay, let's go. If they do, there's not much we can do. We don't run counters in this deck. I just didn't feel like it. Shieldred. Shieldred! Another land. We replace a land for a land. Wonderful news. Absolutely wonderful. For each player, choose a creature power 2 or less and destroy all other creatures. Just gonna play this. Just gonna do a bit of ramp. Just a bit of ramping. This heuristic study is very frustrating because it's stopping us double spelling. We may have wanted to use the Polymorphist. We may have. Geralf. So they're going to hit us for 6. How rude. Hopefully they can't stop the Supreme Verdict. Deleted. Wonderful. And we have another wipe. So if they reanimate anything else, we can get rid of those as well. Scarab Guard! Yippee! Does that include exile? When it dies. It just dies. Now, they do get to swap these a Scarab Guard for something potentially scarier. So that might have worked out for the worst. But to be fair, Scarab Guard is up there in a scary town. He is the mayor of Scary Town. Now he's gone forever. So, quite pleased about that. Murderous Rider. Wow. That seems like a desperation move. I don't think that was worthy at all of doing that. Really. Was it? Was it? No. I'm just going to hit him with a Guardian Idol. This is silly Billy moves now. Let's do it. They're at 15. We're getting our max speed on, boys and girls. And we can also play a spell. Delightful. 4 mana to do this every turn, but you know what? If they want to play silly Billies, we're going to join them. We're going to be just as silly as they are Billy. Elish Norn. A wonderful treat for the eyes. You know what? I think it's justified. Let's go. Let's exile every one of their infantry legion. And infantry commanders, of course, because, yeah, I wouldn't really call Elish Norn infantry. She's far too superior and widespread. Down to 13, and we, boys and girls, we are now at Maximus Speedius. How about that? This Murderous Rider is so I still find that move bizarre. They should have used it for a HVT, but they went for an LVT. Well, I suppose better than a BLT. Meticulous Archive. Come on, give me something to work with here. Skrowl's Hive. I don't want to work with that. Let's see if we can resolve this. Sentinel as well. Oh, we can copy it. That's kind of insanely good. 2 Sentinels. On the plus side, if they do have a board wipe here, then we can keep doing our Guardian Idol attacks into them. And also the ECD restores something back to play. Wow. I cannot believe the luck we had there. We just exiled the things we needed and got rid of a lot of stuff. We got lucky. Getting rid of these 2 HVTs. Damn. Can't believe my luck. Alright, this is a pretty solid starting hand. Got removal coming out the wazoo. I quite like this card, just to stun something for a turn. Nice. It's just nice to use different cards, you know. It's just... Sometimes it's interesting to see where cards can take you. Not always the same things. Lodestone Needle is cool. Which tap land? Guess it has to be that one, isn't it? 2 stun counters. 2 stun counters. That's a lot of stun counters as well. Let's start with the Renowned Weaponsmith, I think. Although we don't have anything big in our hand, artifact-wise, it's just kind of cool to play something that potentially can ramp us pretty hard. Plus 2 mana for artifacts. It's kind of crazy. So what can we do here? Let's stun the Zergo. So Zergo only really works if he's attacking. So let's just attack here, because sadly we can't cast our Mendicant Core because he's white and blue and he only taps for colourless. And also we do not have a card called Heart Piercer Bow or Vial of Dragonfire, so that doesn't do anything there. Leonin War Leader. Oh boy. We are going to want some wipes. And land. Brawl's expertise is going to be great. SP Sentinel. Let's go Rustic Study. And Esper Sentinel. So we desperately need a land next turn. But if we do, we can do some bouncy bounce. Or exile something. This is going to create cats. Okay. At least we can block one with one of these guys, but we do take 5. They've got quite a lot of tax to pay. They do want to play any spells with the Ristic and the Sentinel. Maybe they don't. I mean, they don't even have to do anything, to be honest, do they? They could legit not do anything and they'd still be doing quite well. Really? Oh, no. Destroy all. Well, we can just tap this guy. So it just kills the Esper Sentinel. So 3 mana to kill an Esper Sentinel seems like quite a lot. Okay, thank goodness. We got the mana we needed. So I think we just used the Elspeth Conquers Death here. Let's just get rid of that, because that won't be able to come back. And also, Sentinel in the graveyard's not too bad, because the ECD can restore it. Elspeth Stormslayer. Oh dear. That's going to be very overpowering here. Kind of wish we saved this for that. The irony that Elspeth Conquers Death would have killed their Elspeth. Jeez, man. That is a lot. How the hell do we get out of this? That's a lot of loyalty as well. I honestly don't know if we do get out of this, to be honest. I guess we can play the Portable Hole. Get rid of this. Craft with Artifact. Sure. Get rid of the Portable Hole, because that's not needed anymore. Now we have this. Target creature you control explores. Okay, that's kind of cool with our Esper Sentinel that will come back next turn. Now they still have an Elspeth, which is just insane. So... Yep, and they're creating a ridiculous amount of dudes here. So, yeah, okay, that's just not going to work out, is it? Destroy target creature with mana value 3 or greater. Well, they could kill none of our guys currently. Cut down. Oh my goodness. Draw a card. Cataclysmic Gilk. That actually helps us here. Choose an artifact, a creature, and a planeswalker. Artifact, creature, enchantment. So they're just gonna keep the Zergo. I mean, that was a lucky top deck, but they've still got this. And they've got... They can just 0 to give Zergo flying an attack over the top. That really sucks. Yeah, that was a pretty clutch top deck, but I don't think it's going to really matter here. It's kind of sad to think that it's just Elspeth that basically took them over the top. She's so powerful, right? I think this may be the first... No, it isn't the first ever, but she's one of the first few planeswalkers that comes out and makes 2 blockers. I think Garrett made 2 wolves. Damn. I think it would have been better if they just used the 0 there. But I guess they can just kill us like this. Damn. She I think she's pretty broken, actually. Double counters, double token, should I say, sorry. Go second, but we have 2 answers for Kotus, which is nice to see. Fragment Reality and Swords, which deals with an indestructible commander, which they will also play in the following turn. To be honest, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 4 answers for the commander. Are they going to be one of those people that just play it, lose it, and then quit? Let's find out. Arcane Signet. Okay, they're playing it a bit gingerly here. Innkeeper's Talent. So they're going to put counters on it. That could make it annoying, the ward cost there. See how we do. I think I'm just going to play Chrome Courier just to get a card into my hand. Because otherwise I'm passing the turn and leaving up mana. We have 2 removal spells for when they next play it. And now they might be more brave about doing it. Permanents with counters have Ward 1. And now they've got 1 mana up. I'm guessing that's for some kind of... maybe a protection spell? Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave up 4 mana. The reason for that is we've got 2 removal spells that can pay 1 ward for each. And I need to have 2 up because I feel as though they are going to have protection of some kind. And we'll start off with the Fragment Reality. Because this is the worst of the 2. This replaces the creature. So let your decoy spell be the worst one. When it mutates, destroy target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls. So there's 2 things that can happen here. We can let this mutate. And then we lose the Chrome Courier. I think that's the best thing. Otherwise, we could exile the Kotus. And then what would happen would be... they'll still have the Dirge back. So let's just do this move. And now we actually get rid of 2 things. At the cost of the Chrome Courier. But that's not too bad. Because we didn't lose the Mendicant Core. Fabrication Foundry. Adds mana, return stuff, or we can play the Mendicant Core, and Fragment Reality is left up. I think this is better. Okay. But yeah, it's going to be annoying for our opponent because we constantly do have answers for it. I think once we get to Portal to Phyrexia, it's going to become even worse for them. Do they have a 1 mana spell? Ooh, okay. It's a bit of a weird one playing Kotus. It's very all or nothing. Because if they lose it, there's not much they can really do. Okay, so we got it. And they get a Bristly Bill. Okay. So let's go for the Warm Power Stone. Fabrication Foundry. And then that means we get how much mana? 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're going to tap out again. And we have the Portal to Phyrexia. Which is very lucky, actually. Let's hope they don't have a 0 mana counter spell. At all. And we have a Phyrexian Metamorph as well, which can then just copy this. Copy the portal. That's insane. But they haven't quit, which means they might have an answer for the portal. If they don't have an answer for it, they may struggle. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're one off playing Kotus. This is actually crazy. Metamorph on the portal. That is crazy indeed. Seven, 7. So we can return. I think we're going to return the Chrome Courier. Just to get a card back. It's very powerful. Voyage Home. Nice. What's this? Ward 1. If they counter this... Okay. Well, we're so lucky. We've basically got all the perfect removal spells we could ever ask for, really. And we might as well draw. Gain 3. If they counter here, then so be it. Oh my goodness. That's... this is absolute God hand after God hand here. Might have to try the support Skyforge in the following turn. And now we're at max speed. We can pay 1 in addition to any artifact to gain a clone of it, which is just insane. But that might be it. Cyclonic Rift. Okay. Well, that certainly slows down a lot of things. Hitting the land is good. So let's even get Mendicant Core out. And then maybe we'll copy something like Worn Power Stone just to get loads more mana. Or maybe Solemn? It's a cast trigger as well, which means it doesn't even have to resolve. But yeah, hitting 2 Solemns here is kind of insane. The stuff you can do with copying for 1 feels really silly. Really, really silly. And that's just far too much value, but my god. That was such an awesome showcase of what you can really do with this deck. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.